Good afternoon, Zambia. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you're joining me this evening. This is Frank Saliki, and this is TV Wakwetu, and this is your Sunday encouragement. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend in everything that you've done. I hope you enjoyed your time at church this morning. As some of you might know, I'm a priest in the New Apostolic Church. So this morning I was holding service. And Sunday afternoon for me is time to reflect. I take my notepad out and I reflect a few things I reflect on a few things that I've done in the week. I reflect on the things that I want to do the following week. And it's important that we're working on something that is going to develop ourselves, something that is going to take our life to a new level. It's important that we're working on growing every single time in our lives, because as I always say each and every week, we were designed for accomplishment, we're engineered for success, and they're endowed with a seed of greatness. And I asked Dr. Munsha if I could do your Sunday encouragement so that we're able to reflect on the week before we come in, before we go out and do the things that we do week in, week out, but we're able to have that moment of reflection, reflecting on our lives, reflecting on where we want to go. What do we want to achieve? How many of you do you sit down and write down what do I want to achieve this week? For me, it's always a thing that I do. I sit down and I look at my life. I write down in my notepad, what do I want to achieve? And if I don't achieve those particular things, I look back at the end of the week and reflect on those things. So it's important that we're doing that. We're reflecting on our life, reflecting on our growth. This afternoon, I want to touch on something that is very, very important. We all want to take our lives to our next level. our next level, when we all want to take our lives to our next level, but we don't feel we're good enough. And so many people just simply never do the things that what they want to do. So I picked a topic this afternoon's hour. An unknown heaven is always going to be better than a known hell. And I've already seen messages that are saying you can't put always in that sentence. We're not being proper, we're being practical, we're being real. Okay. So an unknown heaven is always going to be better than a known hell. And I want to start this afternoon with this story that I heard from my mentor, the great Les Brown. And here's what he told a story of a soldier who was captured in enemy line, and that soldier was given two options. He could either face the firing squad or go through the doors of unknown horrors. The man went and thought about what he was going to do. And the next day he went to the captains, and he said, you know what, I want to go. I'll face the firing squad, because he spent the whole night worrying about what is going to be behind the doors of unknown horrors. So after the shots had rung out, the captain's secretary looked at him and said, you know what, I've never asked you this, but what is beyond the doors of unknown horrors? And the captain looked at his secretary and said, freedom. But very few people are willing to go through that door because it is unknown. And you know, so many of us have got talents, have got abilities, but we look at ourselves and we think, you know what, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to do that or the other. I'm not good enough to have that managerial position. I'm not good enough to start that. There are always people who are going to be better than me. And because we're looking down at ourselves, we're looking at ourselves as not being good enough. We never get started in doing the things that we want to do, because we're always comparing ourselves to other people. I always say you don't have to be great to get started. You have to get started to become great. I think of where I am today. I am what I am today. I always say I am who I am. I owe everything that I am to my mother. In 2004, my mother left Zambia to a place that she knew nothing about, with only one thing in mind, that it will give her children the opportunities for a bright future. Today, I'm sat here making this video in my own house simply because a long time ago, my mother made that decision of stepping into the unknown. A long time ago, my mother made that decision to go to a country where she knew no one. She made a decision to move to a country, and the only thing she could take with her was only the clothes. And everything was in the hope that everything was going to be in a land where she was moving to. And today my brother and I and so many other people are benefiting from the fact that my mother made that decision. I'm able to support other people today back home simply because my mother made that decision a long time ago, without knowing what was going to be in the land where she was going. You know, so many of us have got dreams, have got ambition to change our lives, but we never make that decision because the next step feels like it's a step in the dark. The next step feels like it's a step into the unknown, and we feel uncomfortable. And because it's unknown, we never really endeavor to go and discover what we can be. Life is about taking chances. Life is about taking risks. Life is about taking steps into this unknown area. An unknown heaven is always going to be better than a known hell. If you find yourself in a situation where you're not happy, why are you staying in there? So many people stay because that's what they know. That's what's comfortable. The land of familiarity belongs to the dead. The land of familiarity belongs to the dead. We cannot live in this world we cannot just go through life without getting to our true potential. Somebody said, listen, if you do what you want to do, you're going to be happy. If I don't do what I want to do, I'm not going to be happy. I mean, if I'm not happy, what else is there? For some people, they've decided, you know what, things could be worse. That's a saying I hate the most. Don't worry, things could be worse. Things could be worse. And you're like everybody sits around and they say, you know what, things could be worse. I know somebody who's going through worse situations than you are. Never mind, don't take the chance. This afternoon, I'm saying, take a chance. Take a chance, take a leap of faith. Make a decision to say, I'm going to transform my life. I'm going to move into these unknown realms of discovery. I'm going to go and discover what I can be, what I can do. For me, waking up every single day and just going to work because I need to pay my bills is not enough. It's not enough. Yes, I need a job to put food on the table for my family, but you know, me waking up and going to work because I just need to pay my bills is not enough. Why? Because I discovered this. I discovered that every human being was designed for accomplishment. It was engineered for success, was endowed with a seed of greatness. And every human being has got a responsibility to go up there and to discover their true potential. But Frank, I'm not going to take a chance just in case I take a leap of faith and go into the things that I want and it doesn't work out and I lose everything. This job that I have, I might not like it very much, but it's going so well and it's giving me the things that I want. It's giving me enough money, so I don't want to go. You know, so many people discover this when it's too late. Discover it when it's too late, that they never lived up to the true potential. They were never happy as they should have. I used to work, my first job in the National Health Service was as an administrator in the cancer unit. And I remember those days. It was quite, there were days I used to sit with people when they've been told they've got a few days to leave. And this one day was like any other day. Two of my favorite patients came in. They were in their 80s. They were both given sad news on the same day, about 2 hours in between. I sat with the first one and I wanted to see how they were feeling. And they looked at me and they said, no, Frank, I wanted to travel. I have traveled. I wanted to spend time with my family. I've spent time with my family. There's this job that I really wanted to do. You know what? And I did it. And I've come to the end now in my 80s. And I can look back and I can say, I've done everything that I was born to do. I used up all my good stuff. I'm taking nothing with me. 2 hours later, same scenario, people, same age, different outlook to life. This other man said, you know what, I wanted to travel, I never traveled. I wanted to do this other job, I never did that job. I wanted to do that and the other, I never did that and the other. He looked back in life at everything that he has done, the all 82 years of his life. He looked back and he looked back in regret. And I remember going home that evening thinking, at the end of our life on earth, if we get that opportunity to know we're crossing over, you know, some people will die suddenly in road traffic accidents and everything that goes around it. But if we got that opportunity that we're dying, we know we're going to pass away, how are we going to look at life? Are we going to look at life and say, I'm glad I did? Or are we going to look at life and say, I wish I did? In truth, so many people look at life and they say, I wish I did. I remember one time I picked up a book by Dr. Miles Monroe, which talks about living your potential. I read one line out of it. It gave me chills. I didn't have to read anymore. The opening line to this book by Dr. Miles Monroe simply says this: the richest place on earth is not the gold mines in South Africa or the oil in the Middle East. The richest place on earth is the graveyard, because there you'll find the music unsung, books not written, potential not discovered. So many people have got a song in them, but they die with that song silent in them because they refuse to take a chance. They refuse to give themselves a chance. What this unknown heaven for a lot of people is taking a chance and say, this is what I have. Listen, when I published my book, Arise and Shine, I was 24 years old when I finished writing the book. I still had personal issues I was dealing with. I still had confident issues I was dealing with it. 2017, I got to publish this book now. I'm absolutely scared. I'm absolutely terrified because I am putting this work. I'm putting this work for the whole world to see. I've got my book, Arise and Shine. It's on the internet. People can buy it. People can read it. And here's the thing. People have opinions about them. Okay? People have opinions. To some, it's the best thing they've read. To some, it's the worst things they've read. To some, it never gave them anything. To some, it completely transformed their lives. That's how life goes. So many times when we're working on something that we want to do, right? We think about, are people going to like it? Here's the thing. It's not everybody's going to like what you're doing. It's not everybody who's going to like what you're doing. It's not everybody who's going to be positive, right? It's not everybody who's going to watch this video and say, I'm inspired by that. Somebody might not like my glasses. Somebody might not like my t-shirt. I don't know what's wrong with my t-shirt. My t-shirt looks fine to me, but somebody might not like my t-shirt. Somebody might not like my haircut. Somebody might not like something. Somebody might not like the way I speak. Fact of life. What do you do when people don't like, when you're afraid that people are going to not like something that you're doing? You hide away. You hide away what you're doing. You're hiding away from your best life. You're hiding away from this unknown heaven. You're hiding away from a life that is going to completely transform your life. And I know this. I've never been the most confident of person. I've had to grow my confidence over the last 5 years. I've never been the most confident of person, but I knew there came a time when I thought, if I really want to take my life to a new level, I have to go on a new discovery journey, and I had to do scary things. I'm a motivational speaker. However, one thing that I hated the most was speaking in front of people. And then I had this desire to say, oh, I want to be a motivational speaker. One problem I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I spoke. I hated the sound of my voice. I hated everything about me. But there was these dreams that saying, I want to be a motivational speaker. So I had to take a step into this unknown heaven. At that particular time, I was in what I call the non-hell. I knew my flaws. I knew my weaknesses. I knew what I was not good at. But then I had to take a chance to say, I'm going to discover what I am good at. I am going to discover where I can take my life. I'm going to discover where I can go. That I'm not going to go through this life without discovering what I can be. I remember when I started writing Arise and Shine, somebody said to me, you're a Zambian boy. You'd be publishing a book in the UK. You'd be writing this to English people. Why would you want to do that? What would you want to do that for? And for a moment I thought, and I said, you know what, if I've got a message, if somebody wants to, if there's a message I've got for someone, they're going to receive it. They're going to receive it. Now I'll share this with you. So one day, well, as part of my marketing ploy, one thing that I did is I would leave a book. Right? I'll leave a book in a cafe. I'll leave a book in the bus. So if somebody reads it and they like it, they'll share it with other people, and other people will buy it. It's crazy, but it works. But one of the most incredible moments on the whole process is, so I left a copy of Arise and Shine in the bus. 3 weeks later, somebody said, "Excuse me, you're Frank Saliki, aren't you?" And I thought, this is going well. I'm being known. People know my name now. This is wicked. But I did not know that I was going to have one of the most wonderful and brilliant experiences of my young life. And this man said, you know what? 3 weeks ago, before I read your book, I always used to do all these things. When at the end of a week, I would go partying. I didn't spend time with my family. My wife was like, can you come home and spend time with our children? I just wasn't bothered. I read your book and it just inspired me to change. It inspired me to change so much. It inspired me to spend time with my children and my family and care for them. Now, I did not write anything of that sort in my book. I did not write anything about fathers, go and look after your children, go and spend time with your wives. I didn't. Something in that book triggered him and completely changed him. He invited me to his house. When his wife saw me, he said, look who I found. And his wife came and he gave me a hug. And she said, you brought my husband back home. Thank you very much. Now, I'm not saying this to show how good this is. I'm saying this to impress upon you. I never knew how much that would transform lives. And you know, I see the children, the way they grow up now, the way the father takes care of them today. And sometimes I walk past them and I'll see them, and it just fills me so much joy that these children are being brought up by a father who is so motivated to give his children a better life, only because he read a few lines out of my book, the book that I almost never published because I thought it was not good enough. An unknown heaven is always going to be better than a known hell. You do not have to live in the hell that you've lived in all your life. You've got talents in you. You've got talents that you've not been using up. You can go out there, you can transform your life. In all that you do, it's time you went on the journey. It's time you went to discover what you can be. It's time you went out there and transformed your life. It's time you say, it's not over until I win. It's time you say, I'm going to discover the best version of me. And you know, I've been on this journey, on the personal development journey since 2005. And the best thing I've done, I've gone from being scared to speak in front of 10 people to being confident to speak in front of thousands of people. I've gone from being just a young man with a dream to having my own personal development events called Finding Your Voice, which is the title of my next book. And that's the bit. I've gone from being a young boy who just cannot discover, who wants to discover their true potential, who wants to discover, who just wanted to discover what they can be, to really discovering those things, to really helping people transform their lives through their coaching. My experiences taught me that I wasn't good enough. But when I evaluated those experiences, what I discovered is that my past did not take anything away from me, but my past gave me the tools that I need to not only inspire me and my family, but to inspire other people around me. And these are the things that you always have to know. You are designed for accomplishment. You are engineered for success. You are endowed with a seed of greatness. You must know you are created for a purpose. Listen, planes are made for flying. Ships are made for sailing. A man too was designed for a purpose. And I know some of us might have gone through very difficult experiences that are slowly eaten away from our confidence, that are slowly eaten away from our faith. But I want you to know that you can transform your life. You can change everything about you. You can completely transform who you are. Because you are truly, truly born to win. You're truly born to do great things in your life. You're truly born to transform who you are and what you can be. And this, my friend, is what you can do with your life. You can transform who you are. You can change who you are. You can become more than you can have more than you have, because you can become more than who you are. Sometimes we feel afraid of doing that particular thing simply because maybe you're not skilled enough. Go and learn. When I started speaking, The first motivational talk I did, the person who organized it said to me, I don't want to see your name ever again. It was that bad. But what did I do? Did I give up? No, I went to learn. I went to practice. I joined Toastmaster Speakers Club so that I can develop my skills. And today I'm able to help so many people transform their lives through my speaking and through my coaching. Because I knew that there was an unknown heaven that was out there for me. And I went and discovered it, and it opened so many opportunities for me. So in all that you do, my friends, always remember, you are designed for accomplishment. You are engineered for success. You're endowed with the seed of greatness. And my friends, an unknown heaven is always going to be better than a known hell. Right. So that was me with your Sunday encouragement. I hope you've taken away something that is going to help you along your way, along your journey, that is going to help you along the week. And I hope you really spend this afternoon, just reflect on the things that you do. Why do I do the things that I do? How can I do it better? How can I do it better than most and better than good? So that you keep propelling your life to a new level. And so this is, we're going to be doing something special for our fans, something special for all of you. So my books are in the UK, and one thing that I want to do is send my message to my people back home. My message has been received in the UK. Young people in the UK are benefiting from it. Young adults are benefiting from it. I've helped young people go from failing high school to transforming their lives like I did. I've helped adults go from struggling in their careers, finding new careers. So, and a thought comes to me, I want to do something. I want to do something for Zambia. I want to do something for people back home. So on my author page, so if you type into Facebook, author Frank Saliki, you will find me on there. I'm going to do, send me a message. So for this week, I'm giving away 4 copies of Open Your Eyes. 4 copies of Open Your Eyes. So these are blogs. These are blogs that I write on my website, and I put them in a small book just to help people. So I have 4 copies of Open Your Eyes, and also I'm giving away 4 copies this week of Arise and Shine. Arise and Shine. So if you just send me a message on my author page, if you would like a copy, so you either get a copy of, you will get Open Your Eyes, and you get a copy of Arise and Shine. So 4 people will get 2 copies of my 2 books that so far. So if you go on my author page and if you get that, if you can just let me know. I watched you on TV, Wakwetu, and I would like 4 copies of my book. The first 4 people to message me. Look at that. First four people to message me will get a copy. They'll get a copy of Open Your Eyes and a copy of Arise and Shine. It's my gift to Zambia, my gift to my people back home, so that we can transform. We can start transforming our lives and start changing our lives. Not that you can do. All that's left for me to say, and also for some of you who have been following me and would like to follow me on my Facebook page, you see I post a lot more videos there. I post a lot more videos and a lot more helpful for others. So you can follow me on my author page as well, and you get more messages from me. So this is Frank Saliki, and this was your Sunday encouragement. I wish you a wonderful and blessed Sunday afternoon and a wonderful and blessed week ahead. And I'll see you soon. God bless our country, and God bless your dream. And it's goodbye from me.